That's how American presidents have used military force aggressively, sometimes with congressional approval, but in ways short of a declaration of war. And this goes back to the beginning. One of the ways in which you do this is you put personnel, American military personnel, in harm's way. So let's think about a couple of those. We just talked about James K. Polk. He puts American military personnel in an area where I think it's fair to expect that there would be the possibility of a military engagement against the Mexican forces sent to the same area. Generally speaking, you've got people running around with guns. Sooner or later, someone's going to want to use them, and certainly in the 19th century. But that's not the only time you have that. In terms of international wars, 1898, Spanish-American War. One of the major incidents leading up to that war was the decision by the McKinley administration to station the battleship Maine in Havana Harbor. That battleship blows up. No one quite knows why. General consensus now it was probably an accident. But there were people who said the Spanish deliberately blew up the ship. And in any case, the cry for Remember the Maine helps to inspire an American declaration of war to take over Cuba, to free it of Spanish rule. And of course, what's one of the first moves in that war? But the United States takes out the Spanish fleet in Manila Bay. So this was never going to be just a war about Cuba. It was going to be a war against the Spanish Empire with far-ranging consequences for the United States. But troops were in harm's way. If you put a battleship in a place where things aren't going well, and we've seen that since then, like the USS Cole and other vessels as well, you put the battleship in a place or military personnel in a place, they might get in trouble. They might be fired upon. Franklin Roosevelt, in the undeclared war that preceded the formal declarations of war in December 1941, American destroyers escort merchant marine ships sending supplies to Great Britain and later on the Soviet Union. Those ships come under attack from German submarines. That's looking to have a military engagement.